What planted that seed? What made y'all get to the point to where y'all were like, okay, we're going to come together and actually do what it takes to build a business as a family?
Every family is actually a business.
Yes, I'm right here, Dan.
Okay.
No, on your lip.
You got it.
Yeah, sorry. Thank you. Every family is actually a business. You just don't know that you're operating as a business. You have someone who takes care of the bills, accounts receivables, or accounts payable. You have the visionary, you have the operations, you have the person that's marketing. You just don't realize that your family is a business, but we always had a business.
Yeah.
And Marcus, who is about to hit the dirty 30 in next week, he's going to be 30 years old, which he's mummified now.
Wow.
But they've only seen us have a business. So that seed has always been there. And not that you shouldn't start at the bottom, and he'll explain that, because you can't think that you can have a business and you don't know what it's like to work every position.
For sure.
Have an understanding. A lot of you folks want to, I want to own my own business, but you don't know the dynamics of operating, starting from the bottom into the top.
That's true.
So I'll let Marcus explain that portion.
So I'll tell when I got in the picture, right? You know, in our generation, you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
So
Wait, they centennials.
Yeah,
You
but-
old. You mummified now.
Look, I'm only 5 years from you, but no, 4 years. 4 years. Yeah. See, we're around the corner. It's
You
okay.
really trying to throw us under the bus right now.
So, okay.
Right?
Basically, they both mummified though.
That's crazy. Wait, whose side are you on for real?
Look, I'm still in the
That's
20s.
crazy.
I'm still in those mid-20s.
Well, he's next week, so he's not even in y'all practice. Okay.
I am present. I'm still 29. All right.
Okay, we're focusing on
We're
the
still on the 29s
present.
right now.
Yeah, Alex would have been here. Alex is 27, so he's about to turn 28. So he would be in a bracket, but you on the other side is
That's
side.
crazy.
Go ahead.
Wait, who were born in the 2000s right now?
Me.
Dang.
See?
That would be us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
I'm at
Wow.
the end of the 90s, 98.
All right,
Okay.
you survived. All right, you still know about that 90s era.
Yeah.
But nah.
I was still able to have like a good
Yeah.
childhood, you know, like without
Yeah,
like,
that's when
Wait,
you
hold on.
used to run outside when you were
We have
younger.
had a good childhood too.
We did.
kids.
Yeah,
Y'all
were
was,
all
was
technology.
MySpace kids. So
Lord.
It's
what are we
different.
talking about?
You were sending mail. Retro letters.
Y'all had to walk to school through this now.
We had
We
had
did.
no internet or cell phones when I was growing up, so this is kind of crazy to hear.
I don't know.
Okay, this is like
It is
insane.
wild. Because
Like-
I grew up where I just got it. I didn't have my first cell phone until I was like,
13.
I was like in middle school.
Yeah, 13.
I have my
kind of messed up for y'all. That's kind of messed
We
up.
had the best childhood. Just
No.
They don't know. They were outside.
you guys are too connected that you're disconnected.
Look, I got my
Okay.
first
That is so
phone in
true.
Clock that tea.
On some
Clock
real
that
game.
tea.
You're too connected that you're disconnected.
But we're also
Mama just
so
clocked your
connected. But this is the greatest part though.
How do you begin to like get in the picture of your family business and all of that? How do you begin to learn, like, as you said, there's different tiers and different roles you have to play in order to nurture running a business and keeping it, like, allowing it to be successful. So how a young age do you get involved into your family business?
From my perspective, I was born into, so to give you like how I like to explain it, most children have to go through struggle in a sense, right? Like their parents didn't teach them anything. There's a sense of struggle that's there. They got, like, for me and my brother, we were born into wealth, right? So I always like to explain it in that way. So we were all, family business was always a thing.
Okay.
You know, those things speak volumes. It also adds to the character of who you are. In any business setting, when you meet, yes, I don't mind the hugs, but generally it's a handshake, you know, with men, you know what I'm saying? And but if we were at somebody's office, you wouldn't be hugging them. You would be shaking their hand, you know? So I think we've gotten so comfortable. Not that there's nothing wrong with being relaxed, but when we're in a business environment, you treat it as business, you know? And so I think that, but then again, that's our generation. You guys' generation is slightly different. I mean, we're talking to centennials and then we're talking to mummification over here. But no, that we've always planted that seed of making sure, you know, that you are, you know, whatever I used to say to you guys, I said, your core value, when you're out there, people are going to see your core value,
100%.
Yeah.
you know, of who you are. So you're representing your family.
But then That's see the thing about that too is that you say that, but I think for the audience they don't really know how, like what core values are, right? Like people know what values are. Like I value myself, right?
Yeah.
Like everything that embodies myself. But like I will give you an example of a value, and then I'll give you an example of how she implemented it, right? So execution is one of our family values, right?
It's not like that, but in reference to does it leak in? Yes. And you're like, Mom, he still calls me Mama Mia sometimes in business, whereas Alex calls me Dr. T in business.
Yeah, we switched the names,
all right,
but I switched the tone.
Right, it's the tone, his tone. It's funny because I was doing everything from the marketing to operations, this and the other, so it kind of separated. Now he's operations, Alex is marketing, I'm considered the visionary, you know, and we're sales. But it was definitely difficult from them turning from teenagers, from my sons to teenagers to adults, and then them trying to buck back, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
100%.
What? But we taught them to be honest and to say how you felt and not cower down and just not be afraid to speak up. So even though I'm mom, they still have to do it respectfully. And now we have our meeting. So I want to.
So he would have people ask him, what do I do with my children now? They're grown. How do I start to get them to like change their way of living or mindset? And so since we do have so many people who are entrepreneurs watching and they're in their 20s or maybe like late teens, that's also a question I want to ask you is, do you think it's possible to change how your child thinks, even though they're adult, like help them become this person who can fit in this like fanpreneur way of life, you know? Is that possible? And if so, what do you think that would look like? Because at that point you're already became your own person.
Right.
Yeah,
You are who you are.
That's a great question.
It's a matter of discipline also as to what it is that you decide that you want to do. I always implore anybody to say, hey, look, you've got to learn a skill set. If what you're doing is not working for you, a skill set will always allow you to make money.
We like to say you have to learn how to make a generational skill set. And a generational skill set first is that you need to learn how to make a high ticket skill set, which is something that can make you $10,000 a month. Everybody needs to make $10,000 a month first. Bare minimum, and that's cheap. Then you need to focus on how can I duplicate that so that I can make a generational wealth. Or create a generational skill set. Because after you learn a skill set, then now you just need to learn how to duplicate it, which then it becomes generational.
How do you begin to allow them to be assertive, yet still have integrity, yet still be able to express themselves with the correct tone when they are speaking to you?
The beauty of growing with your children and just being able to grow from them being your child and being their parent to building a beautiful relationship, and that deals with therapy as well, because again, there may be things that we may have passed down that was traumatic for them, and we didn't know because we had trauma and they passed it on.
For sure. I would start with the family legacy meeting. We always say it's broken down into two different parts. You have a founders meeting, which is the business, and then you have a family meeting. Not everybody is an executive in your family.
Yeah.
That's the thing that also has to be stated.
Or a business owner.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. So some people are really, really good at being employees, and that's just what it is.
Yeah.
Some people are really, really good at being business owners. There's a difference between an entrepreneur and a business owner.
Yeah.
By the way, right? So because an entrepreneur is just a mindset. A business owner is a skill set.
Yeah.
There's a totally different ball game with that, right?